coming to you live from just outside the swamp of the nation's capital. Get ready for invigorating talk, commentary, and debate on the issues affecting your life. Grab your favorite drink. It's Nightcaps with Nate. Now, here's Nate.
Hey, welcome to Nightcaps with Nate. It is Nate, and we are on with Redneck Wednesday, my favorite night. Of course, we have our usual crew here. Hopefully, they're not on mute anymore. And we have our fancy smanchy guy down the bottom. Copied my flag from behind. If you notice, it's new. JD? No. And Kevin, not to be outdone, had to get a new camera so that we're not looking up through his nostrils anymore. Kevin, what's up, man?
Not much. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing. It's a good day, man. It's cold. It's nasty, but it's cold. Hey, by the way, is it colder than usual in Colorado there, too?
It's pretty chilly right now.
I mean, this has got to be...
I was talking to some people. I was just shivering. I was like, what is going on?
It's stupid how freaking cold this whole thing is, man. I mean, I'm ready for some summer. West Virginia is finally starting to get unlocked down, and like, you could go outside and have a drink, sit outside, but you can't... But you can't because it's too damn cold. Like, we had Cinco de Mayo yesterday, and we went to the El Ranchero in Ransom, and man, I froze my balls off. My wife's sitting there drinking with all her friends, and they're drinking like those frozen drinks. I'm like, dude, you've got to be so freaking cold. It was absolutely ridiculous. That's why last night, if you watched the show and I sounded a little inebriated, yeah, I had a couple more drinks for nightcaps than usual. So
there you go.
Yeah, so what are y'all drinking tonight?
I got the old Maker's Mark in the cup.
Maker's Mark in a cup. Okay. All right. JD, water?
It's this new thing. It just came out. It's called H2O.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
You know, JD used to be cool at one time.
I can still kick your ass.
Physically, yeah. I mean, anybody can. Bubs, Kevin's kick my ass right now. I mean,
it's corporate dad status.
Exactly.
Corporate dad. Once you start mowing your grass in Crocs, it's over with.
No, dude. No, I've been even worse. I actually pay a person to mow my lawn now. I do.
Hey, I will tell you this. I've yet to see you in a pair of white New Balances with Velcro straps.
Oh, it's coming. Give it 10 more years. It's coming. It's coming. All right, so for anybody who wants to comment on the Nightcaps with Nate tonight, let's make sure that you go to the Nightcaps with Nate page, the actual Nightcaps with Nate page, and then that way you could comment. I'll read them off. Samantha says, yo. Kathleen, your wife says hi. Andrew Scott Sterling, hola. I'm digging the Captain America shirt. Look at you, got a shout out. Smitty says it's going to get chilly tonight and 70 tomorrow. I don't know where Smitty, I think, lives where we live, but I'm not sure. So, I don't know what 70 you're talking about. Maybe somewhere else. Hey, first story of the night. I hate to do it. It's depressing, but I got to get it out there. I am pissed off. I do not like racism whatsoever. Yes, we're rednecks, but we are equal opportunity rednecks. In other words, we either make fun of you all or we make fun of none, and we just make fun of everybody, including ourselves. And I'm all about, let me just get started with the Second Amendment. I'm all about the Second Amendment. I'm all about stand your ground. But what I'm not all about is pursuing someone and then standing your ground, okay? If you pursue somebody and you ain't a cop, then you better damn well be right. This happened in Georgia. All right, when rednecks pretend to be cops, innocent people die. A private person, Georgia law says a private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. If the offense is a felony, then the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest him. This was meant for, hey, I just saw you shoot that person. We can legally stop you and not be held liable. This is not for you to go play cop and do what's going to be in this video. Now, I'm going to warn you, this is a disturbing video. Very disturbing video, so you may want to go get an early refill if this is going to bother you. But I think it's very important to show what, unfortunately, and I'm not a social justice warrior, but unfortunately a lot of black men have to deal with in America. Yes, we all commit crimes, and so there are preconceived notions out there. In fact, if my child got kidnapped, I'd probably go looking for a white guy with bald head. Not me. The bald that has the stuff on the side, okay? This happens, but you have no right. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So I'm going to play this video. Go ahead and stay quiet for a minute. That's him taking a jog. Apparently he jogs down the road quite a bit, but they thought he just broke into a house and was running away. Either way, still no excuse to go out and confront him. Wait for the cops. By the way, there's 2 vehicles. You see how one just tried to intercept him. And he runs for a little bit and claps. Okay. Bottom line, we would have done the same thing. I don't care what anybody says, well, why did he run? No. First of all, these guys are not cops. They're in unmarked vehicles. There's a bunch of rednecks in a country town running after a black guy. One gets out with a shotgun, you're going to fight or flight. All right? This is sickening to me. Rednecks, don't be cops. Okay?
Yep.
Georgia is also a stand your ground state. So this Ahmaud Arbery, rest in peace, could have used deadly force against these hicks if he had a gun and been totally justified because they approached him and got in their face.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I mean, there's no excuse for this type of action. You accusing this man of your excuse. I'm going to say excuse because that's all it is a damn excuse to try to get around the law. Is that you thought that he stole something? His hands were empty. He was wearing a white T-shirt and running shoes or running shorts. There's no way to say that he was carrying anything that would justify saying that he stole anything at all. It's absolute ludicrous. And just like you said, pro Second Amendment myself, this is not what the Second Amendment is made for. This is not the reason why the Second Amendment exists. And this is the reason why we're in a predicament where we argue about the Second Amendment. It's because of stupid people make stupid decisions with guns in their hands. And that's the bottom line. And that burns my skin.
Right. And let me just tell you, if you're, and I hope we get 1 million viewers on here. And I hope if you're a racist, you're changing your mind by watching this show. If you're a racist and you think that this is like some white national show, as you notice, I'll have Hispanics on here, black people on here. There's no toleration for racism on this page or as part of my audience at all. In fact, if you're a racist, you need to get on your knees and give your heart to Christ. And I am a Christian. I'm not a big Bible thumper, but you need some soul searching. Jasper, who's on this show, and Kareem, I'm sure, can agree with him, says that a fear he constantly has when he goes home to Georgia, fear that, it was a modern day lynching. That was no different than back in the day when they would have said, oh, you whistled at that white girl and they strung you up. And it's sickening. And thank God we have a justice system and they're moving too slow down there because originally they weren't filing charges because this old guy, the old guy, and I'm going to show you him on the screen again. He's a former investigator for the prosecutor's office. They're on their 3rd prosecutor that finally said, oh yeah, I'll show this to a grand jury. It should never have taken 3 prosecutors. So that's just my opinion. I don't want to beat this to death. I mean, there was no pun intended there at all because it's not a joking matter. But I hope that justice is served. There was no reason for this man to lose his life. There's already, he got caught with a gun once. Doesn't matter. Does not freaking matter. We're talking about the here and the now. That guy was out on his morning jog, and he lost his life. And there's a mother grieving because of it, and it's sickening. All right, moving on. I promised Kevin, that I would have this one. Chinese coronavirus researcher here, 37, on the verge of COVID breakthrough, is shot dead in Pittsburgh in what was considered a murder-suicide. Now, these are Chinese residents. If they weren't Chinese residents here doing research, I would almost believe it, but there's always that, whoa, what's going on here? Because guess what? It's China. Nothing you can trust in China. Apparently, where did I go with this? Sorry about that. Apparently, the coronavirus researcher killed was over a dispute about, quote, intimate partner. The cops, they say he was a university of thing, that they were fighting over an undisclosed woman. The guy shot him and then shot himself, okay? Do you have any news for us there, Kevin?
Yeah, I got a little bit. So I grabbed a little bit of details off of this. So to start off, I just want to kind of cover some things, some facts about this gentleman. He had a PhD in I'm a redneck, so I can't say that word. System biology, National U of Singapore. He's his strong suit is machine learning, development of high performance computing to analyze and model
Holy shit, systems. English, buddy, English.
Am I not speaking English?
You're speaking bad.
Hold on. Here's what I just found. Says he was friends with Hillary Clinton.
Boom! Problem solved. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, buddy.
What I'm getting at is that he's a systems biology guy. He builds computers to try to figure out the biological structure of the coronavirus, and that's what he was doing with this research. So whenever you're talking about research, you're not talking about YouTube research. You're not talking about some page 1, page 2 of Google research. This guy was doing legitimate research. I'm not accusing any situation. I'm not making any conspiracies, but this is what conspiracy theories are made of right here, is this type of situation. He's getting ready to figure out potentially what this coronavirus thing really is, and then he ends up dead. That's all I'm going to say about that, because you let your mind run long enough and you can run down some rabbit holes with that conversation.
Well, you can. And the fact that he's from China, and if he came upon something that say, hey, maybe they did find out that it really did originate man-made as a lab in Wuhan. You never know. You never know. Now, you know me, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I always bring people on like you to be conspiracy theorists. What do you think?
They've got another video out there. It's called Plandemic, by a lady who did vaccine creations, and people call her an anti-vaxxer. She's not an anti-vaxxer. She's actually mentioned that she's not an anti-vaxxer. I can't remember her name. I should have.
That's what she says she's not. Maybe she really is.
But she created vaccines and stuff like that, right? So obviously she can't be. I think what she's more guided towards is whenever things are created or whenever things are manipulated inside of these research labs, and then get either control released or accidentally released into the public. It's whenever you find these dangers. And they've been talking about a big pandemic that's going to happen within the next few years. And yeah, you can I guess you can kind of predict those type of things, but it just leads to a lot of questions for the common American to go, what is really going on?
What is really going on? I like the plandemic. Samantha likes it too. Andrew says, when incidents like this happen, it makes you think it's more than just coincidence, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I like how everybody says, hey, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but this is what I believe, and it's always conspiracy.
I am a conspiracy theorist because and it's not because I believe all of them or that I believe any one specific. It's because it's thought-provoking, and it's something that creates a conversation that can come to the actual truth, rather than just believing everything that the media pushes out to everybody, because we know if there's something to be hidden, they're going to hide it through the media.
Well, I will tell you this, and going back, Dave just took us back off topic. He says, when I go on a bike ride, should I just carry my gun? No, Dave. The whole point of this is that you don't have to worry because you're a white male. And I'm not a big social justice warrior. I'm not like this, everybody's a victim. But if you're a black male in West Virginia, yeah, you should probably carry your gun. Open carry your gun and protect yourself. But you're a white male, and I think you're going to be just fine. And that's the unfortunate truth for my friends like Jasper and Kareem, and even Gabriel and others that, have a little browner skin. Again, I'm not a social justice warrior, but that's it. No, Samantha, I've never watched Plandemic, but now I might have to.
Stay strapped, bro. Stay strapped.
Stay strapped, no matter what you are.
That's what George
I don't give a
Oh,
shit
speaking of staying strapped, look at this. They had a Texas standoff. Cops face off with heavily armed men defending bar that opened during the lockdown in Texas. Only in Texas, by the way, would they do that. 5 or 6 men. So they're just holding their weapons. They were slung, so they do have a defense saying, hey, this is open carry state. We're allowed to stand out here. How do you know we are defending the bar? And a sheriff's department SWAT team came by around this trailer bar. It's literally a bar in like a single wide trailer. And and got them like by surprise, put their hands up, right? But the Texas police arrested 8 people after heavily armed men stood in front of a bar defying coronavirus lockdown. Although the governor had allowed restaurants to open under the News East coronavirus restrictions, they did not allow bars. Okay, first of all, I think this Republican governor is in trouble anyways, because he's kind of like a mix of Republican governor and Governor Whitmer up in Michigan. Why? If the restaurants are open, why wouldn't you just open the bars? You talk about making everybody happy. Make me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it's just silly. Why open one and not the other? That don't make a lick of sense. In fact,
the thing about it is that this guy was standing there. These guys were standing there with their guns and they're not even full kit. They're just not even body armor or any sort like that. And they're saying that they're there to protect. Well, what were you there to protect the bar from?
Cops.
Because if it was
theoretically,
if it was cops, then what are you doing? Like you obviously are you're just a tactical guy. You're just out there to look cool. That's all you're down for.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to do this like as a militia movement, then, when the cops show up, I don't want anybody shooting cops. I'm just saying, when the cops, then don't just give up right away. You would have done something. So they do have a legal defense.
Conversations can be had. Right there, they could have had conversations.
Yeah, they did. It was put your hands up, drop your weapons, put them behind your back, and cuffed. That was the conversation. Oh, and then an advisor of rights. You have the right to remain silent. So they do have a legal defense because they did say, hey, look, we weren't doing this. Hey, some people are taking this restriction a little bit better. A little bit not better. I think we should all just get it and just get over with. But El Chapo's sons imposed virus lockdown in Mexico and torture rule breakers. So the little Chapos, Ivan Archivaldo, man, I wish I had had Gabriel on tonight. Archivaldo and Guzman Salazar and Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar have reportedly sent their cartel henchmen to enforce a curfew in the city of Culiacan, Mexico. Video being shared online shows the crime bosses, men patrolling the streets, telling those who do not comply that they will be punished. Dude, I'd be more scared of them than the actual cops. I mean, the cops might actually like follow some sort of rules. They would just like cut your tongue out or do something. You know who I am liking, though? Elon Musk, more and more. This guy's turning into like a little libertarian. Elon Musk, the story. These are, by the way, all these stories are from The Sun, the U.S. edition. Musk be joking. Ha ha ha. Elon rips virus scientists because Elon's been he's kind of like me. He's like, dude, let the young out. Let them get the freaking virus. Get over it. Let's put Grandpa away. Grandpa can, he and his girlfriend are vulnerable. We'll just knock them out. Hey, what's up, Robert? Let us get it and then get over it. And then that way we have what's called herd immunity. So Elon's kind of like that, but he's really going after the scientist. So this scientist has been one of the proponents of locking us down. But yeah, I guess he went off to meet a married lover, a mistress. So he's like, what a tool, Musk 48 tweeted that Neil Ferguson, a top scientist for the UK government, was a tool for flouting the social distancing guidelines he said were necessary to prevent hundreds of thousands of deaths. Isn't it funny, though? Liberals do that a lot, man. Right? Me too. That's a great example. Hey, me too. Hashtag me too. There's a meme that I'm going to show you later. It was on my social media. What sold out faster? Toilet paper or Me Too this year?
Oh, man.
Am I right or wrong?
I just want to put it on record. I think that liberals and Republicans alike can all agree on one thing: that Elon Musk is one of the most intelligent human beings on the earth right now. He's doing some of the biggest movements. He's doing some of the biggest work for people, creating some of the greatest technology. And this is an intelligent human being that has outwardly spoken about what you just mentioned, and as well saying that this pandemic lockdown is against our constitutional rights. And so let's have that.
I wish he'd start Facebook because I keep, all conservatives, we get our stuff blocked on Facebook. Why doesn't he start like a cool Facebook or something? Or go buy MySpace and make it cool because it's already, got some web traffic there, right? Because, he's kind of a libertarian. I like the dude. He smokes a lot of dope, but, if you're that smart and you basically started the whole empire of electrical vehicles, which all the liberals love. He's kind of middle of the road on everything. The libertarians love him because he's a libertarian. The tree huggers love him because he's got electrical vehicles and stuff. Shoot, you can't beat that. This guy, he's to go.
He's making a truck.
Yeah, he made a truck. It's a nice looking truck. I wouldn't trust it.
Straight out of Halo 2.
I'm still trying to afford a diesel because they pull much more. But apparently the truck's a monster. I would just hate to be towing.
What are you going to pull?
Dude, someday, I'm getting a new RV to put on Kevin's property, man. Because he doesn't.
He's going glamping.
I'm glamping right on his property because he might not have learned because he only did what? How many? 8 years in the Marine Corps?
5.5.
5.5. Okay, I did 22 years in the Army. Yes, some of it was in recruiting, but guess what? I've had my time sitting out there shitting in a hole with a hose. No thanks. In fact, we didn't even get hoses. Nope. I'm glamping, baby.
Listen, I don't care what you do in your backyard on your own time, okay?
You do. I'm coming out. Hey, I'll let you borrow it when you come out and visit.
Me and JD are some avid survivalists, okay? No matter how many years I spent in the Marine Corps, I'll still be out in the middle of the woods with my survival bag and the bare essentials whenever it comes down to it. I actually just upgraded my survival bag.
I heard you were a band member.
Who? JD?
No, you in the Marine Corps. You played the skin flute, didn't you? Moving on. That was my childish joke of the day. Sorry, people. Hey, by the way, if you're just now joining us, this is Nightcaps with Nate. This is Redneck Wednesday. We have Kevin. Raise your hand. He is a militia member, believe it or not, a real militia member, and we have JD down at the bottom. If you got a comment or you want to say something, hey, go to the actual Nightcaps with Nate Facebook page. We are live, and I will read some of the comments that I can. By the way, Redneck Wednesdays are my highest rated shows, so we're trying to get up to 3,000 viewers tonight. So make sure that you start your own watch parties. If you haven't gone over to our YouTube page, make sure that you go to YouTube in the search bar, Nightcaps with Nate, and then subscribe to our page. Once we get to 100 subscribes, even though we get 3,000 viewers here, it has been hard as hell to get 100 subscribers on YouTube where I can get my own very special URL, custom URL, so I can market that puppy better. All right, so that's what we're asking you to do. Also, if you have not liked or followed our Nightcaps and Nate page right here, please make sure that you do so. Oh, by the way, let's talk about mercenaries and you survivalists. This is crazy. I didn't believe it at first. But this guy actually was on the security team of Trump. They were Green Berets, I think. Green Bay with his two special forces buddies. Dramatic moment that the Venezuelan army foils an amateur coup attempt led by Green Beret with his two special forces buddies and backed by shadowy U.S. billionaires as they set out to assassinate or capture President Maduro with 300 hungry, untrained men. They literally tried some Rambo shit here. All right? Look, guys. And billionaires who just waste a lot of money, and this guy probably cost his life. That dude, there's no such thing as a real Rambo who can take out a governor, okay, or a corrupt dictator in Venezuela. Apparently, and I watched the footage. Actually, you can see here on the bottom right, that's them actually being arrested. I couldn't put the footage in here, but they actually literally were tipped off. They were making a beach landing, no joke, all of them in the middle of a day in this fishing port. So they were just waiting for him. Maduro's army is just waiting for him. And luckily they didn't shoot them all up. They actually arrested them all. They're probably going to get the death penalty because it's a dictatorship. Trump did say that he is going to do everything, or not Trump, but Trump's administration did say that they're going to do everything they can to get the mercenaries back here to U.S. So I don't know what Trump plans or Pompeo. But yeah, Andrew said it's like a movie. Only a movie that didn't have a cool ending. A cool movie. Like, man, that's a badass dude, man. Look at, oh, man, they took out Maduro, right? No, this is, these are just three crazy people that convinced billionaires to fund their operation. They had it, man. They had, like, the guns in the cases and stuff, the weapons, all the whole 9 yards, man.
It's gangster.
Yeah, it's like the Bay of Pigs. Only they didn't even get as far as the Bay of Pigs, David. That's crazy. We all know them, especially in the military. You have any buddies or people that you knew that were in the military? You're like, man, I could see him trying to do something like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, like they belonged in the military, but they probably belong locked up in the military and unleashed when needed because they're that stupid or crazy.
They look like a RoboCop. You just think that they got that mindset and that ability, and it's just gonna be some guy. Whenever he gets out, you're never gonna hear from him again, and he's gonna disappear off the map.
My first squad leader, Staff Sergeant Larner, if you're ever listening, I don't like you to this day because you were an ass to me, but I probably forgive you by now, but you made my life hell when I was a private. But that dude, we were in the field, and the commander comes like, oh, yeah, your wife's in labor. Pack your stuff. You're leaving the field. You know, that was one of the reasons that we could probably get out of the field, especially if it was just, 100 miles down the road in Germany, right? What are you talking about, sir? Just I'll call her and tell her congratulations. Like, no, you gotta go. Like, this guy was gonna miss the birth of his daughter to stay in the field training exercise. We were combat engineers and all that. He's one of those idiots that would be like on this team, like, hey, let's do this, man. We could do it. I forget.
There's such thing as being too damn gung ho.
Yeah, what do you guys call them in the Marine Corps? Motards, or your wife was telling me something.
Motards, yeah.
Motards. What does that stand for? It's like Marine Order.
Motivated retards. Yeah, to be blunt.
I thought every Marine was a motard. I thought it was just Marine tard.
Challenge, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
in the Marine Corps, if you don't know, or in the military in general, we use a lot of non-politically correct terms.
Not now. Not since President Obama was president, man. He changed a lot of that stuff. Even the Army and Marine Corps, which are the mostly men fighting forces, and it got really politically correct really quick.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, again, it was in the Marine Corps. It changed so dramatically. It was the reason why I got out of the Marine Corps is because as a corporal in Marines, you're supposed to be the backbone of the Marine Corps. You're supposed to drive, keep your Marines moving forward and training them and teaching them. And you're supposed to be hard and get knife hands. And you got to the point where like, no more knife hands. You can't do this. You can't do that.
you said knife hands. Is that this?
Yeah, these right here.
The knife
This is
hands.
knife hand.
Yeah, but that
This
was
is
polite.
serrated knife hand.
Wait, what is that called?
Serrated knife hand.
Oh, well, when we did this, that was that we weren't pointing at soldiers, so we did this, and that was actually considered correct. Now we got to be like this, like a politician.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, the Marine Corps changed so dramatically in my 5.5 years, and that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I took early release program.
Yeah, by the way, if I keep looking to the sides, because my producer wife, who usually does all the stuff for me behind the scenes, has been forced to work an extra shift. She works at the Veterans Affairs as a nurse. And
you can just say the VA, bro. You don't have to be like
the Veterans Affairs.
Yeah, you don't have to say that.
Okay, I'm sorry. The VA. Okay,
yeah,
so
you just say the VA. If you don't know what the VA is, then you probably shouldn't be listening to the show.
VA could be Virginia. Hey,
oh my God.
Hey, you know what I love? And I mentioned it last night a little bit, but New York City, de Blasio came out and says, Trump has forgotten where he comes from. He's stabbing us in the back. Coronavirus doesn't know Republican or Democrat, and that's true. However, all these liberal cities now that just last year, everyone is guaranteed. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio promises universal health care to even illegal immigrants. Governor Cuomo's right. The rich are leaving high-tax New York because everybody's taxing them so much. Well, guess what? Now they're using the coronavirus to say, hey, Republicans from, Missouri or from Alabama or from Georgia or from Florida or from Texas or whatever, hey, can you bail us out because we basically promised our citizens too many things and we can't handle. New York City is actually preparing to furlough or lay off essential workers, de Blasio says, and it's unfair. Now, they do make a point that a lot of the red states do take in more federal outlays than they actually pay in because each state pays in so much. Well, guess what? Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make it right. I think every state, we got to this thing where the federal government is like this rich daddy that feeds us and they became our overlord. It was never meant to be that way. It's supposed to be 50 states that loosely provided a defense and a currency and all that, kind of like the European Union. Germany has its own army. Luxembourg has its own army. Belgium has their own army, their own constitution, their own police force. And then they pay a little bit to the EU, which provides for the currency and some of the other policies, right? That's what we were supposed to be like. And for them to be begging the federal government for money, the federal government should be begging you for money, the states. That's how it was meant to be. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're
Militia
right.
man, am I right or wrong?
You're right. I mean, at this point, the states beg for money from the federal government, and the federal government regulates certain things to try to get tax money out of the people that live in the states, and then in turn give that money to the states. It's completely wrong.
We didn't even have a federal income tax until the World Wars, and that was just to provide for the common defense of the country. We had to do an extra tax. It was supposed to go away. It just never went away because you know what happens when big government gets entrenched, which started with the New Deal and all that. When it gets entrenched, they're there to stay. And now cities and states overblow their budgets and ask the federal government, who's way overblown their budget. In fact, the founding fathers were correct. We should have never given borrowing authority to the federal government because look at them. We're $26 trillion in debt after this fiasco. Yeah, $26 trillion.
I imagine that there's a lot of executive orders and a lot of laws that are still in place that were things that were put into place for one special occasion, and then they just stay there. And that's the reason why a lot of people in this moment in time, with the coronavirus going on, are going, okay, are you going to get rid of a lot of these executive orders that you pushed through, or are you going to keep them there for long term like you have done your entire existence as a government?
Andrew, on the other thing about the mercenaries, he said plot twist. It was Elon Musk that was funding it. That's great. He was a bit plot twist. Oh man. Yeah, I'm just tired of the big government. Guess what? Speaking of big government, Facebook and all them have kind of become our government because they love to censor, especially conservatives. So they started this thing they've been talking about for years, but Facebook names 20 Supreme Court members with power to override Mark Zuckerberg on censorship. So, Facebook names 20 people to the Supreme Court for content moderation. On Wednesday, appointed 20 people from around the world to serve on what will effectively be social media's network Supreme Court for speech, issuing rulings, and all that. And they got all these people from across the world. Well, guess what? The problem with that is we need our special own little Supreme Court just for the United States because we have this crazy thing called freedom of speech, the First Amendment. The rest of the world does not have that. Even England does not have a codified constitution of free speech. That's why they can have hate speech laws. That's why in Canada, just north of the border, they have hate speech laws. If the liberals don't agree with what you said, in fact, they tried to go into churches just because the Bible happens to say in 3 or 4 different places that traditional marriage is the way it's supposed to be, and they tried to go after actual pastors for preaching that in their churches. We can't do that here in the United States because our founding fathers were geniuses. They were God-inspired, in my opinion, for the Second and the First Amendment, and even the Fourth Amendment, and the Electoral College, and all that stuff. So, this is not going to work. Not going to work. And I would love somebody to go in and vet all these people that they picked for this Supreme Court. Because they might have put 1 or 2 constitutional conservatives on there, but if there's 18 liberals, guess what? We're still going to get censored. This is not going to work out well for us conservatives. I'm just telling you. What do you think?
You're fired up.
Am I fired up today?
You're fired up. You even got the pointer finger going. And
I should have the night fan, huh?
Yeah.
How bad, dude? This is not going to work, Private.
So I mean, in Canada, you had Jordan Peterson, who's I guess he's a conservative, spoken guy. He was silenced at a lot of colleges and stuff, and he speaks up a lot on these on a lot of these occasions. And if you never heard of Jordan Peterson, it's Jordan with the J. He speaks awesome knowledge on what it is to be a conservative in a nation where you're not accepted at all in Canada.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's happening on our things. I brought it up last night on my show. They did a poll, like 70 or 80% of young millennials, snowflakes, and Generation Z, which are even younger than the millennials. Those are the kids of the millennials. Guess what? They're now saying that speech should be restricted on college campus if it offends anybody. Hell no! College universities were founded to be a free exchange of ideas. Let's go on to karma. You know what karma is? Karma is a bitch, and every religion believes in it. In Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, they call it the reap and sow principle. The Eastern religions call it karma. Atheists call what goes around comes around, right?
Yep.
Well, guess what? York County, this is in South Carolina, DUI prosecutor charged with DUI, fired from job. Ooh, not good. Guess how he got caught? Not only did he cause one accident, but he got caught minutes later at a second crash. Authorities said Nichols had a blood alcohol of 1.16, which is double the legal limit. Okay, first of all, that dude's a lightweight, okay? Now, I'm not advocating drinking and driving, but I could probably not cause 2 accidents at a 0.16. I would be probably at a 0.24, all right? Now, JD, he might look big. He might have to 0.16 be crashing into stuff. But me, I could drive with one eye. I'm not advocating it, but been there, done it.
You keep talking shit, you're going to have one eye.
Oh, you're in Colorado, big guy.
Hey, flights are cheap right now, bro. I can get home for $60.
That is true.
I got a feeling that 0.16 wasn't the only thing that was in his system, though. I mean, look at his eyeballs. Red.
I was going to say, that's my question. Do you think he was crying like a little bit?
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, his eyeballs are all red. I'm wondering, is he really drunk? Is he really tired? Or is he like that moment that you realize, oh my God, my career is over?
Yeah, he's done for.
Like on the show, like a week ago, we had that racist lieutenant on the New York Fire Department, and when they caught him, he was like this big guy, about as big as you, without a beard, just blubbering. Like they caught him like just blubbering. My career is over, just crying like a baby.
Dude, I don't even understand DUIs anymore because we have so much access to different forms of transportation. Like, call it Uber, bro. Like,
dude,
why even
got it here in Harper's Ferry now. In West Virginia, they got Lyft, not Uber, but they got Lyft.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That why even chance it, man?
Yeah, like, Whitley, why chance it?
It makes no sense.
Damn it, Whit. I tell you, last night. Oh, she just said something nice a minute ago. Hi, here at work. Great show as always. So last night, I was like, Whitley, you sure you could drive? Yeah. I only had 1 or 2. Maybe I should have counted better. But man, she was like, are you sure you're okay to drive? Past a Ranson cop, too. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, Lyft, baby. Lyft. But I think with this coronavirus, it's been not good. Nick Ellis, don't drink and drive, folks. It's not worth it. I agree. I spent a night in jail for that way back in my younger days.
I got one.
You got one?
I had one.
Kevin, you get one?
I never had DUI. I had a minor possession of alcohol whenever I was 18 in high school or 17 in high school.
That sucks. Hey,
he says it was alcohol, but it was probably something else.
Probably cocaine.
No, it was alcohol.
I can see him.
He
was selling his Adderall pills.
He's the kind of guy who he was suitcasing for sure.
Yeah,
he was suitcasing, and they found it.
They found
cavity
it.
Search.
Oh, he enjoyed it. He's like, you missed some, officer. Hey, speaking of staying in South Carolina, Fort Mill woman. Okay, now I don't know how I feel about this. Some people call it bad parenting. I say, hey, you are a cool mom. Fort Mill woman drove in neighborhood with child 7 on the vehicle roof, probably trying to, hey, you're bored. Like, get on the car. Yeah, sure, I'll drive you down these neighborhood streets slowly, probably, right?
What else is there to do?
We used to ride on the back of a pickup, out in the country as a kid, and it was totally fine. But, nowadays, there's so many snitches out there, and the cops have to say, okay, it looks like you might have endangered a child. I need to get Andrew, I think you're a cop. Why don't you tell us, would you have taken this lady to jail? But, of course, Andrew's in a big city. This is Fort Mill, so it's probably a small town. They're probably happy to finally turn on their blue and red lights and stuff. Fort Mill woman was charged with child neglect after allowing a 7-year-old child to ride on the roof of her vehicle. Tabitha Leigh Barrett, 29, was arrested Saturday afternoon. Police reports show Fort Mill Police Department officers were called about a vehicle driving through a neighborhood with a child on top of the car. The incident happened on Michaela Court, blah, 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 blah. You say bad mom. I say cool mom.
Yeah, I'm down with it, dude.
The kid didn't die.
But did he die?
The kid didn't get hurt. Scott's on, Scott Bolsha.
We used to ride around in the back of the pickup truck, man. Come on.
Exactly, man. But we've gotten soft, especially white people, man. I'm just gonna put it out there.
That.
Like my wife, if it was up to my wife would have never let our kids even go down the road. I'm like, dude, you got to let them go out and just experience life. If it means running from a predator and making it home just in time, that might be what it means. As long as they're in a...
I ran from a javelina one time, man.
What?
I ran, but I was on a bike. A javelina.
What the hell's that?
You have to explain that to our corporate dad.
All right, a javelina, there, city folk, is it's a boar. It's a damn.
Okay. I know what a wild boar is, but a
Texas wild boar. They're fast. They got tusks.
Yeah, dude, I was in Germany on guard duty, right? Now remember, we're in the field, so we don't have real bullets. We have blanks, right? But you train like you fight, so you're out on guard duty, right? And man, all I can hear, this is 2 a.m. I'm out there and I hear, because there's wild boars everywhere in Germany, man. And it's like, oh man, they come for you, it's scared. Keep duty, we were right on the hood, in the hood.
That noise you heard was your battle buddy sleeping.
Yeah, that was my battle buddy, probably trying to scare me. No, man, if you left your boots out to dry overnight, let's say you had a rainy day and it was going to be clear, so you left them out, they would take off with your boots and stuff. I mean, you had to put them up pretty high on the 113 and stuff. Dude, I hope all you guys out there, because I went to Walmart today and everybody's wearing these masks. I hope you all feel safer with these masks. Let me show you how they're made, okay? Let me transition this over here and press a little bit of play button here. It's a sweatshop in some foreign country. Yep, what you're seeing there is handmade mask. And a bunch of sweaty men sweating all over these handmade masks. And then they put them on the floor, nasty floors, with their bare feet. Yep, those masks are falling over people's nasty bare feet. And they're manually, with their nasty hands, pleating them. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hope you guys feel safer with those masks on.
You see those where they show how to test them, where you have to blow through.
Hold on 1 second. So this says this is Andre's table 2/22/2020. So we know that this was just made 2 weeks ago, right at the height of this epidemic. Now, I'm not blaming them. They're just making money. There's a shortage. They're probably like, hey, I'll pay you guys, $1 a day to do these, and they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's make some money. But for all you people out there who are like, oh man, finally my shipment of masks came in from whatever country. Guess what? You're putting those nasty, they're basically socks that have been on some dude's feet all over your face to protect you from a bug that doesn't even protect you, by the way. Those kind of masks, they protect you from giving your bug to somebody else. All right?
Yeah.
Nick Ellis, not wearing a mask. Kathleen says that's disgusting. Andrew says seems legit. Okay.
I'm not wearing one either.
I don't wear it.
I
I
ain't
got a
wearing
beard.
one either, man.
I'm not wearing one.
I might wear one around Grandpa and his girlfriend if I was like confirmed to have had it before.
It's just like licking a Chinese doorknob. You just don't do it.
Yeah, or any doorknob. It doesn't even have to be a Chinese doorknob.
Well, no, American doorknob. Yeah.
At this point, it's all about just keeping your what do they call it? Socialist distancing. No,
Yeah.
you got to keep your face. Don't talk directly into somebody's freaking face, and keep. If you hear somebody coughing, obviously kind of keep your distance from them. But these masks, all you're doing is sharing your own shit to yourself.
Yeah, but
You're not keeping from going to nobody.
when I was a single man before I met my awesome wife Whitley, because I know she's watching right now, the most beautiful woman in the world. She's commenting. I used to before like you could. First of all, I wish there was Tinder when I was a kid. Where was Tinder when I was a freaking single man? Where people like got on this website, swiped left to right, and the whole point was to hook up. Like we used to have chivalry, even when I was single just 15 years ago, right? Where you actually took them out to dinner and then you tried to get laid, right? Or at least a few dates, right? Now they just get on a Tinder app and they all know that they're there to do that, swipe left or right just to get laid. I digress, right? Can you imagine spitting game now? You go up to a girl and she's got a mask on. She looks kind of hot behind the mask. Only to find out that she takes the mask down. She's like missing teeth. And I feel sorry for the dating world nowadays. Coronavirus has changed everything.
Coronavirus, killing hornets, all this thing. It's just the world is crazy out there.
I got bad news for all of us on here. Keith Duty says they don't work with beards. So, JD, I'm going to need you to shave that.
No, they tried to tell me that here in Colorado, and I said you can go to hell.
Carrie Daniels, who we work with, says, "Hey, can we keep the 6-foot rule once this whole thing is over?" I agree. Some 100%. People need to stay 6 feet away.
100%.
Oh my Lord!
I'm telling you, dude. Now is going to be the new norm. I'm telling you.
It is.
I'm a big hugger. So if you see me, I might come in for a good hug.
Yeah.
Man, our beards would lock together. It'd be like a dog knot.
No, dude. If facial hair touches a guy's facial hair, you're gay automatically. Just letting you know. I don't know how to say it. Yep, it is.
What are you talking about, dude?
If you stay in for the hug, now if it's like, oh, my bad. But if they stay there and you like stay there and you're not family, you're automatically.
Dude, I have
a kiss you on the cheek, man.
I have a picture of my beard all over your face.
I know.
So I don't want to hear
but
it.
You're a big man. You held me there.
I did. It was no.
No, bullshit.
You were willing.
No, I was not willing. Yep. Hey,
that picture, folks, will be on the next show on a slide.
Me Too applies to guys, right? Hey, remember what I said? Which sold out first this month, faster this month? Toilet paper or Me Too?
Me Too.
So this lady here, Linda Hirschman, she's a lawyer, a writer, cultural historian. So that just says liberal all over the place, by the way. A new book coming out called Reckoning, the Epic Battle Against Sexual Abuse. She says, hey, I believe Reed, but I'm voting for Biden anyway. She wrote in the New York Times, utilitarian morality requires I turn my face away from the people I propose to sell out, Monica Lewinsky, Tara Reid. This is agonizingly hard for me to do so, pretending not to believe the complainants, which is what is taking place with Mrs. Reid, or that they're loose nobodies, which is what much of the media did to Miss Lewinsky. It's just an escape from the hard work of moral analysis. All right, blah, 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 blah. Basically what she's saying, hey, you know what? Me too. Man. If it means getting Trump out of office, I'm plugging my nose and voting for Biden.
Yeah.
They have single-handedly, this month, ruined the whole Me Too movement. Period, point blank. There's no getting it back. Not on their side anyways. We now, Trump, the master of, hey, I grab by the pussies, has now claimed the higher ground than the left. Because you know why? Trump messed with women in a sexual harassment thing. Not right, not cool. He cheated on his wife, I'm sure. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know because there's an NDA signed. Not cool. Joe Biden touches little girls and has an actual credible complaint of actual assault. That means that he actually digitally penetrated this woman against her will. All right? They have lost all credibility of this thing.
And any arguments that people have, you've lost credibility as well. Because it just goes to show that this was never about the allegations. It was about the party.
It was about Brett Kavanaugh. They did not do the same thing to Brett Kavanaugh. Andrew even said, did she sing the same tune with Brett? Probably not. Me too, but only when convenient. Kathleen says they literally hate Mr. Trump so much that they don't care who they put in office. Samantha says allegations flying. Bottom line, this guy is a creep. You know what? If it was one allegation, I'd be fine. But if he didn't have all those videos of him actually sliding, you could actually see where he's like acting like he's talking to somebody and his hand just conveniently slides over a little girl's breast. And even the little girl's uncomfortable. Like, what the heck is going on? This dude is a creep. And if you are voting for him as a female feminist, you have just said, hey, male patriarchy wins all the time. Old white male with plugs in his hair. By the way, he's bald. I didn't realize it until I watched the video last night. That old man, you are voting for the patriarchy. In fact, if you have a conscience, feminist, you should just sit out the election. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll just say the
or vote.
That's in the room. He's a piece of shit.
He is. Would you let your daughters around him?
Oh no, dude! If you put me in a room with that man, it's only one of us is coming out.
Well, probably not you, because he'll have Secret Service in no time. But
you're that guy.
JD looked like he's ready to go right now. I mean, he looked like he's got his boxing gloves, UFC gloves under the desk, ready to rumble.
He only looks tough, man. He's all bark, no bite. Don't be scared of him.
Yeah, keep talking.
Until you get him pissed off.
Keep talking.
He's all talk.
That's how us rednecks are. We're all teddy bears until you get us pissed off.
I'm the guy.
When you feel those corporate guns, then you can talk.
Dude, I'm the thing that goes bump in the night, and when Nate needs somebody to back his ass up, I'm going to be the first person he calls.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that meme or that thing, Bravo 6 going dark. That's it right there.
That's it right there.
You touch little kids, you don't belong on this earth anymore.
Yep. No.
Samantha says, I load the argument, well, Trump has more allegations. So those allegations are cheating. First of all, there are a bunch of allegations that were unfounded. They don't even have corroboration. Tara Reid has corroboration. Second, there are allegations of sexual harassment, of mostly like strippers and stuff like that. Porn stars, Stormy Daniels, cheating on his wife. Yes, maybe he did all that stuff. That's bad. Okay, A, he didn't lie under oath like Clinton did, which is felony. And B, it's not little girls, and it's not somebody against their will. So until you get something like that, hey, bring it. Polls. Listen, I am so tired of seeing Biden. Some polls are showing Biden up by 9 points and stuff. Right now, polls are suppression polls, mostly done by liberals, mostly to discourage Republicans and to get the excitement down. Have you noticed all polls always tighten up the last week of the election? Because that's when all the news media are looking at pollsters to see who is the most accurate. So all of a sudden they start polling for real. Right now they're polling either adults or registered voters. They're not even polling what's called likely voters, which is the most thing. And they're throwing the samples all off. So there's only a few polls that you should trust. And I'm not even saying to trust these two that I'm about to show you. Poll, Biden's edge evaporates as Trump is seen as better suited for economy and coronavirus response. This comes from Reuters, Ipsos, so it's should be, for liberals, reputable. The opinion poll conducted on Monday found that 43% of registered voters, there, just like I said, not even likely voters, said they would support Biden versus 41% for Trump, which means that they're in the margin of error, which says that they're statistically tied. Rasmussen, which is kind of a Republican pollster, for the first time since I've seen in a long time, has his approval rating at 49%, his disapproval at 49%. If that holds true, Trump has won not even just the electoral college, but probably has won the popular vote as well. My point there. Please, for the love of God, do not believe any polls that you see. Wait until the last 2 weeks of the election. In fact, the day of the election, 538, which is Nate Silver, he's a statistician, had given Trump a, 22% chance of even winning the election. Well, we all know how that turned out, right? And he was a statistician using polls, and he was actually doing that. He's a liberal too, by the way, but he tries to be fair. Can I ask you a question? Yeah, of course I can ask you a question because I'm the host. When is enough, man? So I know Supreme Court justices, they're on for life, but do you think maybe they should have like a mental and a physical before they could continue on past, say, the age of 80?
Damn right.
I mean, yeah. Ginsburg is in the hospital again, dude, and we're praying for her, not because we want her to be on the Supreme Court, but she's a human. But Ginsburg is back in the hospital. This lady has survived like 3 bouts of cancer, pancreatic cancer, which is like almost impossible.
These people are dinosaurs, bro.
They are dinosaurs. It's like maybe because the founding fathers, you used to live like 39, 49, 59. In fact, Social Security was built on the premise that most people wouldn't even get it. It was just in case you did live long enough, you didn't die broke, your savings were gone.
Yeah.
Okay, people are living super long. Maybe it's time for either a constitutional amendment or maybe just say, hey, you know what? After the age of 80, maybe it's time, retire. It's okay. She's in.
Not even 80.
Not even 80, bro. Like 62. Or 60. Yeah, something like that. That's crazy.
I don't know, man. But she's there. She had gallstones.
Yearly inspection after 55.
How old is she? Do you know? Just guess.
Who? This lady we're talking about?
Yeah, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
87.
Yeah. You looking at your slides, you jerk. Yes. She is 87 years old. She is almost.
I didn't.
No, she is almost 90 years old, bro.
So exactly. So my point. Why are you still there? Why?
I don't know. Because she could have retired under the Obama administration. I don't know why she didn't.
Why aren't these people retired?
Stranglehold administrations.
Like Nancy Pelosi is 80.
Yeah, look at her though, dude. I mean, she looks like she got hit with a bucket of shit.
90% of the Democrats can't even finish a damn sentence with making sense with it. I mean, good grief.
But 80 is so old. Like, if we know 80 people, are like, man, you've lived a good long life. Go enjoy life. Why the hell are you still in Washington?
Yeah.
You're not getting paid that much. Yeah, you're powerful, but that's a power-hungry person, man.
Did you see that damn thing where most of them can't even read a teleprompter anymore? They got an earpiece in so they can hear what they're supposed to say.
Nancy Pelosi has this big guy behind her, an African-American gentleman that, like, helps walk her and stuff. He's her walker. She can't even put a sentence together. She sounds like she's drunk on wine all the time. I'm not joking, man. But it's a time to, like, just, hang it up. Biden is 77, so if he wins, by the time he finishes first year in office, first tour in office or term, if he wins, which he's not going to, because he doesn't even know where he is half the time. He's lost in sauce. But he'll be like 82 years old, bro.
Can you imagine his demented ass making decisions for our country?
No, we saw
He would forget what country he was supposed to be representing. Next thing you know, North Korea would be America.
Right. No, he'll be that guy who accidentally crossed the border on accident because the Secret Service couldn't catch him in time. And he's like arrested by we end up in nuclear war because he just wandered across the border. Somehow, like a Forrest Gump didn't hit a landmine or something.
He wouldn't show up half the time because he figured out how to get to the White House if it wasn't for the people taking him there.
I know.
Andrew says supposed to be going to a press conference.
Andrew says at some point we have to consider their cognitive reasoning ability and its impact on their jurisprudence. Okay. David, Uncle Grandpa didn't write that. He wouldn't even know how to say jurisprudence. But yes, you're right. I mean, bottom line, go into the light. And if you're not ready to go into the light yet, go out and hit a beach. Go on a boat, travel the world. Do something, but if you're 87 years old and you look like her because she is like really old looking, go have fun, man. You don't need to live it out.
Do you think they feel like they're losing a sense of power if they step down? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Larry Bolzoni, he's on a watch party. He says in Republican Nation, he says too funny, senile as shit. I agree, man. Larry, you're 100% right.
Hey, that's just, what else they need to do? They need to take senior citizens and make them retest for the driver's test.
They do. And if you can't pass the driver's test, then you shouldn't be deciding Supreme Court cases.
Yeah, that's what
it's just too freaking important, man.
Dude, there's a lot of old people out there, and I'm not trying to be mean, man. They should not be driving cars.
All right.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be deciding cases and whether or not we go to war either.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen. This is as dumb as this lady's here's last words. South Carolina woman did home manicure for somebody, tried to touch an alligator before fatal attack. Okay. Cynthia Covert, 58, died Friday after venturing waist deep in a pond in South Carolina. It's like South Carolina Day today, right? A gated community outside of Charleston to encounter the gator. The homeowners pleaded with Covert to keep away from the alligator, telling her it just ate a deer days earlier, right? She says, I don't look like a deer. That's her reasoning. Covert responded according to a police report before trying to touch the gator. She went out there to touch him. So Covert falls into the water at some point. When she resurfaces, the homeowners toss her a rope, say, hey, and she grabs a hold of it And she says, well, I guess I won't do that again. Well, guess what? The gator came in, pulled her under, drowned her. She's done.
I only got one thing to say.
What?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Hey, wait. That's Kathleen's statement. You can't say that.
It's a redneck statement.
That's a redneck statement right there. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
I mean,
Like a box of chocolates.
What do you say to that? Like, if you're, yeah, like, what do you say to that?
That is something that Joe Biden would do. Oh, look, a gator.
He wouldn't know it was a damn gator, though. He'd think it was
No,
a
Joe Biden
chihuahua
would
or
only
something.
playing with the little alligators. Joe Biden would only play with
Female alligators. Oh, look, tits. Oh, man, that's horrible. I shouldn't say it. But
can you just see him wandering around the White House in the middle of the day?
yeah,
like,
Secret Service would really be they'd be like a daycare. It'd be like a daycare center. Come on, Joe, let's go get your pudding.
Where's your Metamucil? We got to take your Metamucil.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, it's bedtime. No, you cannot go touch that gator. All right, come on, we got to get him home for South Carolina. He's got to go back to D.C. Kathleen says clearly she never watched Swamp People. Hey,
those are my people.
What's that?
Swamp people. Those are my people.
Those are your people?
Yeah, I'm actually related to the Trahans.
Oh my Lord, dude! Please don't ever tell me that again, because I will make fun of you for life. Okay?
I'm not afraid to be a Cajun. I mean, it's just who I
am. Dude. So here's the Alberta police taking it too far. All right, Alberta police take down a woman, 19, dressed as a Star Wars stormtrooper to promote reopened restaurant, which had like a Star Wars theme, plastic gun, everything. Right? Been walking out there all day, but people, they want to see blue, red lights or whatever. They're like, oh, guy with a gun. Here, I got the video. Let me show it to everybody. So at first they drive by, now they're like, holy crap, there's cops everywhere. At gunpoint. Now mind you, this is not a realistic looking gun. This is like, what does he carry as the stormtroopers?
A plasma gun or whatever?
Yeah. Get up.
Yeah, he'd know. Kevin would know.
Okay, get on the ground. They got this poor girl at gunpoint. It's fine. Turns out to be a girl. She gets bruised and battered, by the way. And I'm only saying this over the clip just because we're running out of time.
Well, you know the reputation of a stormtrooper, right? They can't hit what they try to aim for, so they're all looking out for public safety.
So a guy comes out, the owner of the restaurant's like, hey, she works for me. She's just walking back and forth to bring us new business now that we're reopened. Like, get back inside now. Get back or you're going to get arrested. So the guy who's recording this.
Right here said E1 Blaster is what he called. He's a big Star Wars guy.
He's got the fucking shotgun.
E1 Blaster. Or E11 Blaster.
So the E11 blaster's been dropped to the ground. This guy starts walking up to the cops and like, you're going to hear him like, get back.
Why?
Oh, shoot. I haven't even had it on there. Sorry, everybody. Let me go back. We'll go to overtime. Everybody's like, can't see it. It's your screen. My bad. That's called drinking. Nightcaps and Nate. Nick says it's an E11 blaster.
Stop.
On your belly. Poor thing's in like a plastic suit. Like, how do you lay on your belly? There's the guy saying, hey, he works for me. Get back inside. That's a stormtrooper. We're taking him down. You hear her crying. So sad.
Shit, that's a girl, man. Fuck. He's got the fucking shotguns. Why?
Stay back. Let's go. Seriously.
This is Canada. We don't have guns in Canada.
Go record us, but don't come approaching us. Stay back there like everybody else.
Okay, but this is Canada. That's not a gun. It's a plastic gun. I could buy that at the dollar store.
Stay back.
That sums it up. I'll stop it there, but sorry to all my viewers that couldn't see it. Keith, it says, what was the probable cause? You don't have probable cause in all the constitutional rights in Canada. This is in Alberta. So when, South Park has that song, Blame Canada, they mean it, right? This right here, folks, is what I'm trying to get to. This is what happens when you don't have a Second Amendment, okay? Because if people start getting like, oh my God, it's a gun. All right? This is why, and I don't always like it, but you see the open carry people and like, why are you out there doing that? And what they're doing is they're trying to desensitize you to the fact that there's weapons and guns out there, because if we don't ever show guns, then all of a sudden everybody's going to call the cops every time they see a gun, as if the gun is the problem. Okay, thank God we have a Second Amendment here. The Lethbridge Police Service updated today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Lethbridge Police Service in Alberta, Canada tells TMZ a service investigation into the actions of the officers who responded to a firearm call Monday has been launched. We're told the female in the stormtrooper costume dropped her, quote, weapon, unquote, as soon as cops arrived, but did not initially comply with further police directions to get on the ground. The poor girl couldn't get on the ground. Or she was probably scared she's going to get fired. She scratched up her plastic suit that was on loan to her for this gig that she was probably paying like $9 Canadian an hour for, right? Cops say she did sustain minor injury. I guess she had bloody nose and all that. The firearm was confirmed to be faked, and she was not charged yet, although the investigation is still ongoing. My Lord, people, come on. You don't exercise your rights, they're going to take them from you, and pretty soon everybody's scared. Just like the poor lady who had her 7-year-old kid on the car. Was it really that big of a deal?
No, it was good.
Okay. Did really anybody...
Did you die?
No, he didn't die. She didn't either, carrying a stormtrooper thing. But really, who was the snitches that called, right? Oh my God, there's a stormtrooper with a gun. I mean, it's obvious costume.
Yeah.
Maybe next time she shouldn't hold a thing. It should be like holding a sign that says, hey, come eat here, and maybe leave the gun slinged or something. I don't know.
The problem with people that are scared about open carry is at the end of the day, these people that are open carrying, like for myself, I used to open carry whenever I first got out of the Marine Corps. I'm walking with my son and my wife in a store, and people are complaining about me open carrying. I am not the problem, people, and you can clearly see that I am not the problem. But you decide to let your fear, you let your emotions overtake your logic, and that's where things get screwy. Is whenever you.
I don't think so. I think some people want to cause commotion. They want to see they're like really enchanted by the blue and yellow or blue and red lights, and they're like, oh, look at. Bottom line. They open carry all the time here in West Virginia. Every time I go to Walmart, I see somebody with a gun on their hip. Nobody says a thing because it's so normal here. And that is what we've lost in a lot of these liberal states. In that vein, I know California is turning into Colorado, or Colorado is turning into California, and Virginia is as well. So you guys are more than welcome to come back home to West Virginia. Love to have you guys as a neighbor again. But until next time on Redneck Wednesdays, that is the show, folks. So thank you for joining us. Make sure that you go to YouTube and subscribe to Nightcaps with Nate, and also go to this page and Nightcaps with Nate here on Facebook and follow or like. Until next time, we'll see you here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. We have Kareem on and my sister, who is the liberal antagonist, and so we will have some sort of a healthy debate, I'm sure. So until then, be safe, socially distance, get out, catch it, get immune, protect grandma and grandpa. See you guys later.
Shalom.
This has been Nightcaps with Nate. Please join Nate for a nightcap every weeknight at 9 Eastern here on Facebook Live.
Peace!